This is called shrinkflation, and it's happening everywhere. It's not a mistake. It's not inflation. It's a deliberate tactic used by companies to make you pay more for less, and most people don't even notice. Let's break it down. Shrinkflation happens when companies reduce the size, weight, or quantity of a product while keeping the price the same, or even increasing it slightly. 10 years ago, your favorite chocolate bar might have been 200 grams. Today, it's 180 grams. That bag of chips? 10% smaller. That pack of toilet paper? Fewer sheets. And the sneaky part is, your brain usually doesn't notice because you're focused on the price, not the size. Why does shrinkflation work? It's psychology at its finest. Companies know that most consumers equate price with value. When the price stays the same, your brain assumes the value hasn't changed either. Even when the bag shrinks, you unconsciously ignore it. And it's not just a few products, this is happening across hundreds of brands in almost every category. Snacks, drinks, personal care, cleaning supplies, even frozen meals. Let's look at real examples. Cereal boxes have shrunk from 14 ounces to 12 ounces over the last decade, while prices stayed the same. Chocolate bars went from 200 grams to 180 grams. Soda bottles have gone from 2 liters to 1.75 liters. Even paper towels and toilet paper rolls are smaller than they used to be. It may seem small, just a few grams here and there, but it adds up fast. If you buy a chocolate bar, a bag of chips, and a soda each week, shrinkflation could be costing you $5 to $10 per week. Multiply that by 52 weeks, and you've lost $250, $500 a year, just because companies quietly shrunk the products you rely on. And here's a kicker. Government inflation statistics don't capture shrinkflation. Inflation reports track price changes, not product size changes. So when the news says inflation is 3%, the real cost to your wallet is often higher because shrinkflation quietly raises the effective price of almost everything you buy. So why do companies do this? Because it's profitable without backlash. Raising prices outright triggers complaints, social media outrage, and even boycotts. Shrinking the product? Most people don't notice. Your loyalty stays intact, and the company protects its profit margins. Let's break down how shrinkflation is designed to trick you. Slow, incremental reductions. Companies reduce a product by a few grams every year. It's almost invisible, but over 5 or 10 years, it adds up to a significant reduction. Package redesigns. They make bags taller, wider, or puffed up to create the illusion of fullness. The brain thinks you're getting the same amount. Distraction tactics. Promotions, new formulas, or fancy branding keep your attention away from the fact that you're getting less. This is not new. Shrinkflation has been around for decades. Historical examples include chocolate bars in the 1970s, soft drinks in the 1980s, and even coffee in the 1990s. Every time raw material costs rose, companies quietly reduced sizes instead of increasing prices. Consumers continued buying, rarely noticing the subtle reductions. Shrinkflation isn't limited to snacks and drinks either. Household products and personal care items are affected. Toothpaste tubes, shaving cream cans, deodorants, soaps, and even cleaning products have all been shrinking slowly over time. The strategy is the same. Reduce quantity, keep the price, and use clever packaging to make consumers believe nothing has changed. Let's look at big-name offenders. Nestle, Mars, Pepsi, Kraft, and Procter & Gamble. Gamble have all been caught using shrinkflation. And when one brand does it, competitors often follow, so nobody looks greedy, and profits across the board rise while consumers lose. Now, let's talk about the financial impact on households. If shrinkflation is happening across your pantry, fridge, and cleaning closet, it's not just a few dollars, it's potentially hundreds per year. According to some studies, the average American household loses $400 to $600 annually to shrinkflation. For lower-income households, the impact is even more severe because a larger proportion of income is spent on consumables. So shrinkflation is widespread, calculated, and highly effective. But there is hope. You don't have to be a victim. Here's how to fight back. Check the unit price. Always compare the cost per ounce, gram, or sheet, not just the sticker price. This is the single most effective way to spot shrinkflation. Measure your products. Over time, track the net weight of your regular items. Awareness is the first step. Switch brands. Some brands resist shrinkflation. Don't stick with a brand just because it's familiar. Choose value over loyalty. Buy in bulk. Larger packs often give more actual product per dollar. Call out companies. Social media and consumer watchdogs can create real consequences when brands are exposed. Shrinkflation also affects consumer behavior. People often respond unconsciously by buying more frequently, using products faster, or switching less, essentially spending more money without realizing it. Companies count on this behavior, making shrinkflation a powerful tool to quietly increase revenue while avoiding negative publicity. Here's an interesting point. Shrinkflation isn't illegal. There's no law against selling less product at the same price. Companies justify it as part of standard business strategy, even as consumers feel subtly cheated. But it is ethically questionable, especially when applied systematically across everyday necessities. Now, let's expand on the psychological aspect. Shrinkflation exploits two major cognitive biases: price-size illusion. Humans assume that price is a reliable indicator of value. When the price doesn't change, the brain assumes the quantity hasn't changed either. Incremental change blindness. Gradual changes are harder to notice than sudden ones. A bag reduced by 5 grams a year over 5 years seems normal, not smaller. These psychological effects make shrinkflation extremely effective. Even savvy shoppers often miss it unless they actively track unit prices and product weights. The history of shrinkflation is fascinating. In the 1970s, chocolate bars were first reduced in size to cope with rising cocoa costs. In the 1980s, soda bottles shrank, and breakfast cereals followed in the 1990s. Today, almost every category has been affected. And in each era, companies relied on the same principle: subtle changes, clever packaging, and consumer inattention. Even more shocking, some studies show that the perceived value of a product drops significantly when consumers notice shrinkflation, but the likelihood of noticing is low. That's why the tactic is repeated decade after decade. Companies calculate that most consumers will never consciously see the loss, and they're right. So, what should you do to protect yourself? Awareness is key. Track unit prices, measure products, and buy strategically. Don't be afraid to switch brands or buy in bulk. Share information with friends and family. Collective awareness is the only real deterrent. Shrinkflation is a silent scam, but now you know the tricks. The next time you go shopping, don't just look at the price. Look at what you're really getting. Remember, it's your money, your choices, and your power. Don't let companies quietly drain your wallet. Fight back with awareness, smart shopping, and by holding companies accountable. If this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe for more insights into the hidden ways companies take your money, and share this with friends. The more people who know, the harder it is for companies to get away with shrinkflation. Don't let them quietly cheat you. Take control of your wallet and your spending today. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.